lost my mind. My friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you all the time, all the time. I can't help but treat you like you're mine, like you're mine. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you. I'm so fucking mad, I know, yeah. 'Cause you're driving me insane. Don't you say I never told ya. Loving you is such a waste of my time, such a waste of my life. Thanks for breaking my heart. And those feelings that we both had when I leaned in and you pulled back and you said that I can't have your love. My friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you all the time, all the time. I can't help but treat you like you're mine, like you're mine. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind, lost my mind. I've been different since I met you. All my friends, they say I've changed. And I've been trying to forget you, yeah. But you've been stuck inside my brain. Such a waste of my time, such a waste of my life. Thanks for breaking my heart. My friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you all the time, all the time. I can't help but treat you like you're mine, like you're mine. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. My friends all say I lost my mind. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind. My friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you all the time, all the time. I can't help but treat you like you're mine, like you're mine. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. My friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you all the time, all the time. I can't help but treat you like you're mine, like you're mine. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. My friends all say I lost my mind. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind. My friends all say I lost my mind.
Feel the thunder, shake the open ground. Won't give in, I'm fighting for the crown. Heavy clouds are way above my head, like all of my regrets and things I never said. No, got a feeling, shiver in my bones. Something's coming, but nobody knows. Angels rage, they come down from the sky to fix these broken wings and show me how to fly. I burn the sky, I see the fire.
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We have a good one on our hands today. It's going to be a long Saturday afternoon, but it's going to be jam-packed and full of action. I cannot wait to see how the afternoon goes. We're going to kick things off with the Boise State versus ICCU Esports Showdown in a couple of games. First in Call of Duty and then in Rocket League. And then, as we saw there, the prizes, we will transition into the Modern Warfare Warzone Redux as we have started the bracket, and we're going to figure out who is the champions tonight in the Game Pants Esports Arena. I am Michael Fisher, going to be joined by Lisa Jolly Malhas to start things off here. And as we mentioned, Jolly, it is going to be the continuation of last night's Boise State versus ICCU Esports Showdown, this time in Call of Duty. So Boise State and ICCU going to go down, and the Broncos haven't had the best of times in Call of Duty against other squads. I know in the headsets versus helmet ones, the football team kind of rolled the Broncos in Call of Duty. So I'll be curious to see if the Boise State Esports team can get their revenge here to kick things off.
You know, I don't want to say this is pretty standard to start, but for these kinds of events, especially Call of Duty and the Idaho Army National Guard stuff, it tends to go out of Boise State's favor to start things out. And, once they get rolling, just like usual with the Broncos, once they get warmed up, once they get rolling, I feel like it's going to be a much better second day to go here. Yeah,
I'll be curious to see how it goes. I do think in last night's competition, Boise State in Valorant and Overwatch and StarCraft were victorious over ICCU. So the Go Green team trying to maybe come back here and win a couple of games to even out the series as we see their corporate gaming team for ICCU, some of the best gamers in Idaho, known as the Green Team. They're taking on our top varsity program, and they're challenging Boise State in 6 titles as we see there: StarCraft, Valorant, Modern Warfare, Rocket League, and Overwatch. So it's going to be a very, very good one here. As we mentioned, Boise State coming out strong last night, I believe winning all 3. So we'll see what ICCU has up their sleeve for Call of Duty. This will be CDL rules, so we'll go hardpoint, search and destroy, domination, back to hardpoint, and search and destroy if necessary in this best of 5 in Call of Duty. So no team deathmatch, none of the more exciting modes. It's going to be a lot of heartbeat sensors, a lot of crouch sliding, and a lot of sweatingness going on here between these two squads in the more try-hard game modes of Modern Warfare.
I love them. It's not hardcore, is it, right?
No,
We're just doing standard.
It's not hardcore,
right.
Not yet.
So it's not too intense, but I do, domination has always been one of my favorites. It's been around in Call of Duty for, ever. We've got, Search and Destroy to start things out, which is always a good way to get adrenaline going right off the bat. Elimination and attack and defend style, always fun to kick things off tonight. And I'm sure the Broncos are going in with their heads held high, but hopefully the Green Team can bring a start to this day as a victory for them. Bringing home a big W right off the bat would be nice.
Yeah, it would be pretty nice for them, but of course I'd love to see Boise State roll. We've got some of the players in the arena, so be curious. I've already, let them know if we go down 2-0 that somebody's getting the hook and Fish is stepping in, because I can only watch them get embarrassed so many times on Call of Duty. So hopefully they won't make me do that, because I definitely want to see Boise State win this Call of Duty, because as we mentioned, they struggled against the football team. They haven't had a team qualify in the Warzone tournament yet. I want to see Boise State's esports team do well in Call of Duty, which is one of the long-standing video games and one of the first esports with MLG. Everyone remembers back in the early 2000s with those events. So I want to see Boise State do well in that event.
If it comes down to it, you just might have to kick the esports director and that coach right off the bench, send him down here and maybe help that team out. It would be nice to see them successful. We've seen a lot less of the first-person shooters as of late, I guess, for Boise State. Are in recent competitions, but taking a quick look here at Boise State, it's basically all Doc Haskell, I think, right?
Yeah, Haskell playing on at least 2 computers at the same time. Then we see Brenner Bear and Cosmo Buster there as well as Like It. And we see for ICCU, we have Spades, Middits, Roman Clang, Pickle Fork, and Waldo going to be on their side. There we go. Doc has, he's realized he can only do so much. He can only hard carry the team from 1 account at the same time, not 2 accounts. So he's only going to be there 1 time. But it should be a lot of fun, and really curious to see. I played some with Brenner Bear over the last few days in Warzone, so I'll be really curious to see how he performs. And then Cosmo Buster, going to be an interesting one. I mean, he might hit some sick grenades, because of course we're used to him in Rocket League having some insane angles, so he might have some insane triple bounce off a wall and hit somebody with a frag grenade, and I would not be shocked at all.
Oh, there are lobs in Rocket League. There are certainly lobs, grenades in Call of Duty. And I feel like we've seen Cosmo Buster, at least in the past, maybe last year in the event that we ran earlier, way earlier this year with Call of Duty, as we rarely have it broadcasted here on the channel as of late. But I believe he played before and actually is an incredibly impressive Call of Duty player. So hopefully he can pull through here for the Broncos. And I do have to say, the green team's jerseys are pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's how you know they're here to play. And as we mentioned, they say they're some of the best gamers in the Treasure Valley. And let's be honest, when you have matching uniforms, there is, just a level of respect you have to command. Unfortunately, Doc not in the black jerseys there in his little profile picture. It does look like he has a black polo on here today with the Boise State Esports logo. So they'll have to go up against the matching jerseys. So I would already say advantage ICCU.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we got a missing photo for one player on either side. Seems relatively even in the skins versus shirts game there. ICCU might be taking this first one home, but I am stoked to get into this. I wait all year round for these events to come about. This is one of the most exciting parts here for the Boise State broadcasts, and it's just fantastic the amount of content that we're given as well from places like the Idaho Army National Guard. So stoked on this one. Cannot wait.
Yeah, Idaho Army National Guard and the Warzone tournament coming up later tonight. Right now, it's the ICCU Esports Showdown between Boise State and the ICCU Go Green team. Be curious to see how they do. As we mentioned, Boise State's esports team kicked it off with wins in Overwatch, Valorant, and StarCraft last night. And then they'll have Call of Duty and Rocket League here today. So we'll see if the ICCU team can at least make it a respectable 3-2 scoreline. I know they're going to have their work cut out for them in Rocket League, depending on who's playing. Boise State's Rocket League teams are absolutely on fire. So this might be their chance to steal a victory here in Call of Duty, which should be kicking off very soon. As we mentioned, it will be CDL rules. So a lot of the cheese, if you will, that you might see in your normal games are gone. No suppressors, no launchers, no Molotovs from what I've heard from the players. So very, very serious here. The Go Green team making sure that this isn't just your normal pub. They are very, very strict here with the CDL rules. So I'll be curious to see how some of the players adapt their classes for these modes.
Yeah, more of a hardcore style minus the additional damage, single headshot there. So, as we said, search and destroy is what we're going to start things out with, I believe, and then heading off to domination and back if we need to. But hard point is what we're looking at. Always a good one to see on these broadcasts, and just a classic, really, for Call of Duty. So starting out with elimination-based is always interesting as well. Something like Team Deathmatch is a lot more even, or even domination, where it is controlling points. So having that defending, attacking, either eliminating the enemy team or activating one of the two, I think is one of the two detonation sites across the map. So that always makes tensions a lot higher to have that style of game where you do have a different style of play dependent on what side you're playing on.
Yeah, it will be really interesting as it is sort of, it is very differing modes. Hardpoint, the newish CTF mode that's sort of taken over, where it's the moving king of the hill. Then we go into search and destroy, as you mentioned, 1 life per round. You either have to plant the bomb or get the team wipe, very similar to what games like Valorant have or something like that. Rainbow Six as well has sort of taken that style and run with it as their only game mode. And then domination, as you mentioned, the more controlling one. That's probably the one where we'll see the most eliminations. And then back to hardpoint and search and destroy if we need to here in this best of 5. Be really curious to see how the map selection go down. I would love to see them just play on Rust 5 times in a row, but I don't think that, since we're doing no suppressors and all this very seriousness, I don't think we'll see Rust at all, but that is a classic favorite map of mine in Modern Warfare. Would love to see it come out at least once because it is just so action-packed.
I feel like that's one of everyone's favorites. It's one that's been redone a couple of times, and when it comes to smaller groups and more tight-knit groups of people, it is a very, very fun map to play on because there are a lot of different strategies you're going to go about there. But you know what? We don't know exactly what we're going to get into. I don't want to get disappointed by talking up Rust, and then we won't see Rust. I do expect it to be in here somewhere in the rotation tonight for maps, though. And then Rust is the one that I would always honestly love to see, and we do see have seen a lot in a lot of the Call of Duty broadcasts that we have done previously for Boise State here tonight. So I'm not sure if there's anything else that you'd like to see on that in particular, like depending on the game modes that we're going into, starting out with Hardpoint, right?
Yeah, You know, there's not too many more maps. Hardpoint does open it up sometimes to the bigger maps, like Grozno Raid I know is eligible on Hardpoint, which is more one of the 10v10 maps or one of the bigger mode maps. As someone who mainly sticks to the 6v6, don't see that one a whole lot. But besides Rust, there's not really too many maps that I think are going to be too iconic. Modern War, of course, we have Scrapyard, another old school favorite, but you know, everything else is sort of new, and you know, with Black Ops Cold War literally around the corner, less than a week away, on the 13th it's releasing. These are going to be some of the last times we might see these maps, so I'll be really curious to see. I don't know many fan favorites, really, of this series, at least from my time. I know Piccadilly's a very hated one, depending on which side you spawn on. So.
Shoot House.
Shipment's another one that people really love. I will say, no launchers takes the fun out of Shipment, though, because I mean, everyone just, you know, you spawn in, boom, an RPG hits you in the face. Like, okay, I'll try to get boom, another RPG in the face. So no launchers would probably make Shipment a lot less hectic. So maybe for domination, they bring out Shipment. It's still an insane map in terms of how fast it moves. So I'd love to see Shipment maybe as well, just for domination. Everything else, a little too small for Search and Destroy and Hardpoint.
That is true. That's a good point. A Crash might be another good one that I would actually like to see. That's another one that's up there on the list. But you know what? We're gonna stop guessing about them. Hopefully, we got a little bit more information on when we're gonna kick things off here. I'm not sure if players are still getting ready and preparing. Oh, it looks like they might be possibly in a lobby. He's got game faces on, even with half the face covered with that mask. Doc, look at Doc sitting on his
bringing out the MP5 already. Doc is ready to go.
He's got a second computer lined up right there next to him, so you can keep an eye on everybody and everything.
Yeah, he's Googling what are the best classes in Hardpoint.
How do I carry? How do I win and get good?
Exactly.
Call of Duty Hardpoint.
We see production. They're holding it down. As we mentioned, going to be a marathon of a day here. We've got ICCU Showdown here, Call of Duty first, and then Rocket League, and then we will have the remaining, I believe, from the quarterfinals on of the Rocky Mountain Warfare Invitational, the Redux, coming up later today, the Warzone Duos tournament, so I can't wait to see that one. I know some of the favorites making it through the preliminary stages that we had last night, including our reigning champions, Odin Squad, so I cannot wait to see how they perform here. But right now, it is Boise State versus ICCU in Call of Duty Esports Showdown. Fish and Jolly here, as we mentioned, it is CDL rules. So we are going to be going Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, Domination, and then back to Hardpoint and Search and Destroy if we need it. It is a best of 5, no suppressors, no launchers, no Molotovs, all very serious here. I'm a little disappointed. I was all ready to go with some absolute meme classes if needed, but that has been shut down. So unfortunately, the advice I've been giving Brenner Bear and some of the players has been thrown right out the window.
Yeah, that's all right. It probably wasn't that great.
It probably wasn't, honestly. Honestly, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Again, you know what? If things get crazy up there for Boise State, if the green team is rocking a little bit too hard to start things on Hardpoint, I'm sure somebody's going to step down and let you take that place.
I mean, Doc might be in my spot very soon. There's a lot of pressure on him. He is the closest computer to me. So if he hits the 010, the 012, I'm like, oh, let's change this here. Get the hook. You know, we got to get.
I'll come down there and help you. Yeah, pull him away.
Yeah, we got to get the relief pitcher in. This is not going well. The starter is floundering. Let's get him out of there. So I'm really hoping Boise State just comes out. I hope it's a competitive series. I would have no problem with a 5-game series. But if they go down 2-0, that's where the problems would start for me. Because as I mentioned, Boise State's esports team has not had the most success in Call of Duty events, headsets versus helmets. The football team absolutely rolled over Boise State. Of course, it's a game they play a lot, not something that we play a whole lot here for Boise State, so you would be expected. But I don't want to have them embarrassed again. I already volunteered, and they're like, no, you're more important on the casting desk. I'm like, I'm only so important if we win. If we're losing, I can't handle it.
That's true. Yeah, having to cast is worse than if you were up there losing yourself, I'm sure.
Exactly.
As a caster, I know that's how it feels. But you know what? Actually, the previous games, I will say we're starting with Hackney Yard. Excellent. CDL Hardpoint. We're getting right into it. I'm cutting myself off. I don't even care what I had to say. We're getting into Call of Duty.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Going to be curious to see where the Hardpoint spawns. Of course, those back yellow buildings, you have access to that roof right there, right above the graffiti, as you can see right above the red team. I love to get up there with the sniper rifle and absolutely mow people down. You also have the warehouse to your left, office to the right. Usually the places that they are camped the most. As we're going to kick things off here. Looks like we are spectating from the BSU angle, going into the warehouse. Uh-oh, looks like was that first blood for Boise State? They did get one and then an immediate
not.
wipe. Oh, man.
Absolutely not. This one is respawn as well, so we don't have to worry about that to start things out here.
So we got a Ram 7 here on jumping Armadillo. He picked up 3 kills already. They are on the hard point. And right now it looks like the ICCU Go Green squad is absolutely taking control. You see they are here to play. Nice little flank there from Professor. Picks up 1 with the MP5.
Slick move. We'll see if he can follow that one up. They can get their team out the hard point. He gets flanked from behind his own medicine. Taste that.
Nice job. Boise State has captured the hard point there. We see Pickle Fork barely holding it down. Gets an assist there. Unfortunately for Boise State, Brenner Bear not able to hold it down. It looks like somebody may be changing their options. Spade holding it down also with, I believe, the Ram 7 there. Seems to be the gun of choice, but we'll get gunned down. The
Headshots are clean from the green team. Boise State is taking a lot more time to acquiesce where the enemy is and actually get landed hits there.
Nice job by Doc. He will clear the hard point, but unfortunately it will move off the tire shop into the back of the spawn for Coalition, and immediately it looks like ICCU has hopped right on top of it, absolutely dominating here. Brenner Bear with the Fennec, looking for somebody. Going to pick up an MP5, so he's going to be rolling dual SMGs. Thinks there's somebody up in the window, but Pickle Fork can't hold the angle, and Boise State getting a little back here, but they are not on the hard point right now.
Like gets taken out with the headshot there, and Professor gets taken down instantly. Another one for Roman. Actually, he is just taken out. The Professor, no way! Spectacular shots there. Roman picking up the headshot, not Cobra going down.
You see Roman holding it down with the M4. I believe that is Cosmo Buster, who is playing on Koba's account. So not Koba, not in the game. Cosmo Buster there for him. Hard point swapping here in 3 seconds. You could already see Roman trying to predict where it is going to move. And let's see, he was absolutely right. You could see that the ICU squad more than ready for this, as it is on smokestack. Pickle Fork's going to get him down there. Trophy system deployed, and he's going to try and hold the point here. No smoke grenades available, so we'll see if Boise State can push the angle. But right now, the Go Green squad absolutely dominating here in hardpoint.
112 to 11. Boise State barely had any options there, and like with a drop shot, going to take down Brenner Bear.
See, Lycan gets another one. Unfortunately, he needs to get onto the point. Professor pushing the angle. Cosmo Buster there, able to pick up a triple before Boise State loses out a member. Does look like the Broncos on Coalition have gotten the point.
That's good suppression there from the Allegiance side, from the green team here. From Boise State, sorry, is on the Allegiance side.
Yeah, Boise State. I believe Boise State's on the Coalition, ICCU on the Allegiance, and
all right, it keeps
flipping back and forth. Yeah, it is sort of a strange little setup there, but it keeps flipping back and forth as we see right now. Spades, yeah, sitting at 11 and 6 there. It looks like the hard point once again already being defended over on the office building by ICCU.
We'll see if Boise State can do anything about that. They have picked up another 29 points. 144 to 40, though, is a rough place to be. Boise State, though, Brenner Bear picking up a double kill.
Camping the angle on top of the office building there from Pickle Fork. He's able to take down I Am Grill, and Boise State, nice little flank there. They finally have contested the hard point. 22 seconds until it moves. They will finally wipe ICCU. Nice little play there by Lycan, who picks up a couple. But unfortunately for Boise State, they're not able to get it out. And Roman now has pulled out the AX-50. We'll see if he can get any no-scopes, because he's pretty hard on the point right now, but it looks like we're going to swap off him.
Hard on the point, I get it. We got 3 seconds left until that hard point is going to move out. Boise State going to try to prevent the green team from moving early as they tried to put down a little bit of fire there as the hard point was making a move. And it does look like they are going to hop right back onto the green team, taking full advantage of that one. Ooh, and no, Rome was not able to get anything on that.
I'm gonna be honest. You hit that start button and hit change class real quick there, Roman. That was pretty bad. The sensitivity was extremely slow on that one. So he tried.
He walked into a minefield right here of people. Great smoke though.
And the battle hardened as well for the flash grenade. ICCU coming out ready to play. You see the last 4 kills, 3 of them picked up by Spade plus a Semtex there. They're going to rotate over, and they are starting to run away with this one. 212 to 43. Trophy system can't quite come down. Pickle Fork walks right into that one. Not Koba going to try and push around the corner once again. That is Cosmo Buster masquerading on Not Koba's account. Finds one out, hits the battle hardened with the flash. We'll get, oh, he has to reload. Swap to your secondary. It's faster than reloading. No! They tell you that in the training zone. Come on.
That was a couple of headshots too. That was many seconds of having the advantage being on the flank for that fight, potentially picking up a triple kill on that one, but no, it ended at a double. The smoke goes down.
That's the first mission in Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops. Come on, Price, switch to your secondary. It's faster than reloading. It's drilled into my head at this point, and unfortunately,
much faster.
Not into Cosmo's head. Oh, a melee there from Roman onto Not Koba. He has at least picked up 1 kill, still on the sniper, which you don't like to see if you're a fan. It does look like potentially Boise State has had a connection issue, as we have lost a Doc. Unfortunately, Boise State now in a 5v4 is going to have to make a miracle happen, as they aren't controlling the hard point, and they're nearly down 200 here.
Yeah, Boise State. I mean, they're all in the same room. Doc having issues over there. Maybe first it with Professor.
Yeah, maybe up on the stage. Unfortunately, due to the size of Modern Warfare, as any Call of Duty PC player will tell you, or even Xbox or PlayStation 4 for that matter, it's not one of those games where if one computer's having issues, you can just easily swap over, because it is like 250 gigs. So hopefully we could get that one figured out. We see Brenner Bear and Cosmo Buster, as we mentioned, Cosmo Buster on Not Koba's account, up on the stage. Hopefully some of that mojo there after ICCU absolutely dominating there on hardpoint with a 250 to 64 victory in game number 1.
That was a domination. We haven't even gotten to domination yet, and that's all you could call that one. Doc is going to hopefully figure out, if there were any issues, get those resolved as quickly as possible. Maybe get a little bit of that coaching in, as he is so used to doing with the players up there. The green team, though, that is a spectacular start for this group of ICCU players. My goodness, they had instant control every time of the hard point. The couple of times that Boise State managed to grab it right at the beginning of the game, I think they had those 11 points that they had secured, and then managed to pick up a couple towards the end when they were able to clear out the hard point and take control at the end before it swapped locations. Aside from that, though, it was total control from the green team in all aspects, whether it was flanking or starting the fights, initiating the fights, really, or whether it was moving to the hard point as it was adjusting placement. It was instant, and their snapshots as well were pretty impressive.
Yeah, they were definitely ready to go. I mean, we saw some of them had battle hardened to prevent any sort of flash grenades coming out on them. They also had the trophy systems to destroy a lot of those grenades and C4s and the such. So the Go Green team, ICCU, definitely coming out to play here in Call of Duty, trying to get some redemption for last night where Boise State took them down in all 3 games, and they were off to a fantastic start. So hopefully we're able to get the connection issues figured out here for Boise State, so they're not playing down to members. We will go to search and destroy next, and then we will go to domination and then back to hardpoint in game 4. But before we get to that, since we do have some issues, we are going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We've got more of the Boise State ICCU Esports Showdown coming up. Game 2 of Call of Duty, going to search and destroy between the Broncos and Go Green team next after this break. Yes.
I'm going to grab my water.
Exactly.
They're going to beat us, and that's fine. They're going to be better, but we don't have sights on guns and things like that, and nobody has any grenades equipped. None of them.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Legendary parts for legendary wins. It's about time. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Access denied. Where's your god now?
I'm going to find the promised land.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're going to continue on here with our Modern Warfare Call of Duty series between Boise State and ICCU. Took a quick break to allow Boise State to adapt to the CDL rules that we have here. ICCU was ready to go and absolutely dominated that hardpoint game, and Boise State took a quick timeout and said, hey, let's make sure we have all of our classes ready to go. And that's exactly what the Broncos have done. So we're heading on to our second map. It is going to be Search and Destroy. We see Brenner Bear and Cosmobuster now ready to go. I have learned during the break that unfortunately Cosmobuster forgot his switch weapon bind, and that is why he did not switch weapons on that last map. He said he literally hit every button on his keyboard and nothing happened. So keybinds have been fixed, classes have been fixed, and now Boise State ready to go and come back here against ICCU after they picked up map number 1.
It's good to hear that after you got him hard on that one. It's in the tutorial. At least we know that Cosmobuster, he's not incompetent. He is capable, just, needs to figure out the setup first, I suppose.
Yeah, he is. He was, not confused. So Boise State is going to be more than prepared here as we head into Search and Destroy. I know there was discussion about potentially changing away from CDL rules, but I do think Boise State agreed to stick with the CDL as long as they said, hey, give us, quick 20 minutes here. Let us get our classes set up. Let us get prepared. As some players I heard, their classes didn't transfer over because they're, their team deathmatch. They're more pub classes, and they had illegal items on them. As we're going to head over to Gunrunner here for Search and Destroy and see if Boise State can knock this series up at one aside.
Love Gunrunner. I think this is the one that I brought up. We were kind of going over maps earlier on. Lots of vantage points, but then also lots of flank points available on this map. It will be a good one. And now that all the key bindings are set up for Boise State, we can expect this game to go a little bit more smoothly and maybe not as heavy-handed in one direction. As you mentioned, ICCU really took that last game with a dominating fashion.
Yeah, they really were absolutely on top of it. So we'll swap to Search and Destroy. Of course, the classic set there of 1 life per round. And unfortunately, Professor has already been taken out. So we're going to see the Allegiance sitting up 5-4. Spade's going to take down, or Pickle Fork, excuse me, going to take down Lycan. It looks like we potentially have allowed launchers. Somebody switched to an RPG, and I was told no launch. Iffy there as I Am Grilled does take down Waldo. And we're going to see Spades rotating back over, tries to peek the door. He's got a flank. See, he's got the sniper. Can he land it? Put it down, my man, if you can't use it! And he's going to get taken out. And Boise State, look at this clutch here.
My goodness, only jumping Armadillo left, up and alive. He can flanked on here. He's going to take it down at Jam Grill to start things out. Brenner Bear also now with the, was taken down. So not Koba, the last one alive. There it is. Boise State finally taking one for themselves here.
And great job for Boise State as we see Cosmobuster. He's fixed his keybinds. He's figured it out. And he is going to get the takedown there. Did say an RPG, and I had given some suggestions to the Boise State players about using a javelin, and they were told no launchers allowed. So still a little bit iffy on the road. My man, that better not be a sniper rifle. No one on ICCU has earned the opportunity to use a sniper rifle from what I've seen today. They have been absolutely atrocious.
We have only seen really, I think, the one, maybe the 2 lives taken with it where it wasn't actually swapped over. And things are starting off pretty fast, though. The headshot going on to Pickle Fork. Lycan is going to find a second one onto Roman. Boise State starting things off great on the second round.
Like Cosmobuster did get, somebody was behind him, I think, as he's from the perk there, and he's going to try and frag grenade. Nice.
A planted.
Ooh, A is planted, but it's up to Professor for the 1v3 clutch. Trying to hold it down, going to get sprayed, though. Nice job by jumping Armadillo. That'll be a defuse, and it's going to be a tied game at 1 aside.
Hey, we saw, instead of just an elimination there, it's always nice to at least see a bomb activated.
Oh, come on, you cannot! I'm telling you, yeah, you got the kill. But you got the kill, but your teammate also had, he was already lit, so. Anytime I see final kill cam and I see at least 1 sniper shot missed, I'm like, come on. Oh, MP5 car, come on. You better not. If I see Jumping Armadillo at any point miss a sniper shot and immediately switch to the MP5, I'm done. I'm taking over and I am, I'm going to just spray this guy down. Professor gets caught out trying to look at the heartbeat, but Lycan answers it up. At 1 at the side, nice flank there from Lycan. Doing a great job there with that 4 and 2 KD spread, taking out 2 members.
Heavy carry as well from Lycan across the board really in this one. We'll see as a bomb is being activated there. Looks like A. B. I lied. It's B.
Yep, a little bit of a flank as Koba is taken out there behind Spade. Brenner getting sprayed down. He is taken out as well. It is down to a 2v2 for Boise State. B has been planted, so the time is up against for ICCU. Pickle Fork and I Am Grill going to meet on the other side, but a nice spray down there from Spades, who is holding the angle. He'll take down Lycan as well, and unfortunately Boise State gets the bomb defused again.
There it is. Doesn't matter if it's A or B. Very quick to defuse, and Boise State trying real hard.
And they're getting pretty close here. Unfortunately, it's not been there as we see. Pulls out the NPR, switches over to the SPR.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Yeah,
see, we thought. I heard a sniper shot as the final kill. I was like, at least we'll get that kill cam, and maybe you'll feel a little better about that.
A little bit. Why was the first one with the SPR? I'm a little disappointed. Let's if you're gonna snipe, do it correctly.
Redemption.
If you use overkill with the sniper,
you're sticking with it.
If you use overkill with the sniper, I'll be honest, I have no respect for you. I just don't. I mean, because that to me tells me that you just don't have confidence. We see Spades has popped the dead silence, so he's gonna rush towards Boise State as they have swapped sides here. Boise State now defending, and Lycan pick up the first one onto Pickle Fork. Spades over here now in the corner, going to try and miss one way to the right of Brenner Bear, but he will be taken out by another member. But Lycan doing a great job hard carrying here. He has 2 eliminations for himself.
That seems to be the name of the game for this round, at least for certain. Right here.
Ooh.
Oh, Lycan get one, and then immediately being taken out by Spades there.
Doc trying to spray down with the LMG. Did some damage.
Oh my God!
Spinning circles, and he takes it down. It's down to a 1v1. Jumping Armadillo versus Cosmo Buster. Cosmo on Not Koba's account. They're right next to each other. And oh no, he just saw him. Jumping Armadillo trying to chase him down. Has the dead silence pop, so he cannot be heard. But unfortunately, he can't find him. Oh! And Cosmo tried to turn around at the last second, but he was able to run him down. Nice use of the dead silence there to be able to run him down without being hurt.
That was great. We saw just the tail end of Cosmo Buster at each of those corners, and as soon as Cosmo was aware, hey, I am being chased here, it was too little too late. MP5.
Once again, I saw the overkill there. Pull out the SPR if you had that much of an advantage on them. Come on, I want to see it. So hopefully Boise State can turn things around here. It does look like they've got quite a few dead silences available. See what Lycan can do there. I'm going to try and spray through the corner. Gets first blood there for Boise State. They'll trade it off for Lycan though. So it is only 4v4. Oh, and Brenner gets taken down as well.
Dead silence isn't going to help when it's just a frontal assault like we have been seeing. Uh-oh, and that looks like a scary position for I Am Grill there in the container. It was.
It's up to Professor here. It's the 1v4 clutch with the LMG. See if he can pull it off. Bomb has been planted at A. He's going to have to run through several sight lines, and ICCU going to pick this one up, and they have won 4 straight now.
And I mentioned that vantage points are huge on this map. Not keeping an eye out for something like that while navigating through here. Definitely something you have to do, or at least get yourself to a vantage point if you are the last one alive and you're going up against 2 or 3 enemy members. Not smart to really run it through on the ground.
Boise State needs to turn things around here in a hurry. Otherwise, ICCU on the Allegiance side could be on match point. Roman, my man, please don't. Oh, see, that's what I'm telling you, man. Change classes. It's been hard to watch. I'm going to be honest. His teammate's going to bail him out, though.
I'm going to agree with you at this point now. It's been rough. There's not been enough success. Oh, my goodness. Pick a fork there. Getting taken down, just trying to run across. And it was not working out. It looks like Boise State is on their last leg here.
Yeah, Boise State, I do believe, is in a 3v3. You see munitions up for a couple of players. Dead silence almost up for Jumping Armadillo. Interesting that Boise State has got with the munitions. I think dead silence would probably be the better pick here.
Ooh, especially right now with that flank attempt.
Yeah, Lycan has used it. Does look like I Am Grill has been gunned down by Spade, so it is a 2v3 now for Boise State. You can see Lycan and Not Koba right next to each other. Koba's going to lose that gunfight against Jumping Armadillo. Spade's trying to hold down the angle. Lycan last one alive. They're going to meet in the showers. And Lycan's going to take him down, going to try and run away. Spades is coming. Oh, and he'll get taken out there, and now it's match point for ICCU.
What a great attempt there from Lycan. The dead silence used, and it was a solid attempt there to try to flank around, but it was a little bit too late. And then, picking up one or two. Still Lycan doing a spectacular job there for Boise State, trying to keep things alive for the team, picking up multiple kills each round, it seems.
Yeah, you can see, would not be shocked if that was him with the golden gun for Boise State, showing that he uses that one quite a bit. You see a bunch of munitions up for Boise State, not something that they probably are going to find. Oh, man, oh, Pickle Fork, join the club. Hit that start button, change class, get away from the sniper rifle. Does look like Roman maybe off screen finally got his first elimination. Again, my man, you're not even looking at anybody. Boise State's going to plant the bomb here, and I do believe it is a 4v3 for Boise State. The scoreboard's having a little bit of a malfunction here, so I can't quite tell, but I think the Broncos do have 2 eliminations. Brenner camping on that bomb site.
Just waiting for somebody to peek around the corner there. It looks like they're not even going for Brenner Bear on this one. They're trying to find out Cosmo Buster, who ends up taking one down. So a great defense on the point there, on the bomb. And hey, look at that. Boise State is not going to let it end that easily. They're going to take another one for themselves.
Yeah, great job there by Boise State. And we see Brenner Bear is going to mow him down with the LMG. No hope for the last remaining member of ICCU. So Boise State still facing match point. They've got a long way to go here in Search and Destroy. They've got to get it all the way back to 5v5 to have a chance. And we'll see what they want to do here. Once again, they are attacking.
Hey, you know what? They're cleaning things up, though. As I said, Boise State takes a little bit of time to get things rolling, usually. And now that things are actually locked and loaded for these players in terms of key bindings, I'm sure they feel a lot more confident going into this. Ooh, we can see there! It worked! It worked for Roman. You gotta call that one. That works out. All right.
He finally found one. I think that maybe his second kill of the game. He might be 2-7 at this point. But Boise State is down 1. Can't quite tell from here what is happening on the rest of the map. So the screen is, letting me know A and B are right there. We're taking a look at this boxcar, but I can't see much else. We see Roman over in the boiler room, but I unfortunately cannot see the score. Looks like.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say Roman didn't even get to participate in that fight. It looked like 2 members just got taken down by that single member of the green team, but I'm not sure exactly who it was.
Yeah, looks like Allegiance did pick that one up. It's going to be space there. Double kill with the
2 members very, very close by, which is always a risky play for the last 2 alive to keep yourself that close together if you don't have each other's backs covered on a situation like that.
Yeah, so Boise State now, they are up against it. It is 2-0. ICCU leading the way here. We are going to be heading to domination next. We'll see what Boise State wants to do, and if anyone on Boise State, well, at least the 3 players in the arena need a ringer. I will more than gladly step up and take over, and maybe put the Go Green team in their place a little bit, and make sure they know that not only do they, I'm not thinking they shouldn't snipe on desk, but I'll let them know in person that hey, put that sniper rifle down. It's been pretty hard to watch.
Multiple, yeah. I think we saw Roman on it for essentially the entirety of that map, and then I think there was one other player that was kind of picking it up and dropping it down. Might have taken your advice after a failed attempt or 2 there, and I would suggest listening to Fish at this point. It has seemed to be consistent acknowledgement in whether or not it is working. I mean, Roman ended up getting that one.
He did get that kill, yeah.
He did get that solid kill. It kind of made up for it. He did have a couple of seconds. I will say, he had a time to get acquisition on his target there. But you know what? It's good to see the success. Boise State, at least, took those 2. They did what they could, and the first several rounds they actually held off much harder than it seemed towards the end. It really seemed like the green team figured out how to easily flank Boise State or how to get a vantage point and where they were trying to navigate through the map.
Yeah, the green team, despite all the shenanigans we're having here, definitely coming out very, very strong in terms of their overall map presence, being aware, holding down several sight lines at the same time, and that is a huge reason why they are currently sitting up 2-0 here. As we mentioned, we're going to go to domination next. If Boise State can pull off the victory, we would go back to hardpoint and then wrap things up with Search and Destroy in this best of 5 if necessary. As we take a look at some of the highlights, and Boise State, as you talked about, especially this first round, had a really good start. Actually won the first round, and then ICCU came to play, and the Go Green team, incredibly impressive there from some of the players.
Absolutely, and I'm surprised based on last night's games how things are going for this green team today. Just very much dominant in their play style here, and that was that first round. As you mentioned, Boise State took that one, and it was a rough ride from there, picking up one other round just before that last one that we saw. A lot of Lycan, though. I will say Lycan playing spectacularly well there for Boise State, keeping the team alive a lot longer than they may have been capable to do without his presence.
Yeah, I thought I saw the very end scoreboard. I thought maybe Lycan looked like he was 13-8. Couldn't quite see, though. But, yeah, good job by Lycan keeping Boise State in it. Of course, one of the Valorant players, so definitely one of the more familiar players with the shooter genre. Of course, we have Brenner Bear from the Rainbow Six team as well. So going to be curious to see if those are the guys that maybe Boise State can lean on. As, we talked about it, Cosmobuster might be able to hit some sick frag bounces, but I'm not sure there's much applicable from Rocket League to Call of Duty besides the angles.
Yeah, and a lot less opportunity with the equipment that you have available as well. Many more grenades, many more lobs available, I suppose, in Rocket League there. But still playing very well. Boise State has it in them to take this one down. Again, this was an elimination style, and it was attack defense style as well. So that's something to consider. And that Boise State did well at the beginning, but maybe not necessarily their game style. So domination might be more up their alley for these specific players we have on board today.
Yeah, as we see some of the highlights there, as we mentioned, Boise State won the first round, and then Spade's doing a really good job. As we see there, he was on at one point a 5 killing streak, and he was a big reason why. And ICCU, him jumping Armadillo, I know, and Waldo making a lot of really good plays. Unfortunately, Roman and Pickle Fork not on in best of terms with me, bringing out the sniper time and time again and whiffing. So, we'll call a spade, and it's keep until you put it down. I'll keep letting you know that you probably should.
You probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up working out for them though. They took that round. They did take that round. So even though you were a little harsh on the snipers, it worked out. Ended up working out. It did, and Boise State maybe making a few mistakes as well in a lot of those plays. Like I said, there were many times where they ran in across open ground as a last player, for instance, and there was clearly somebody at vantage point when you're going into like 3 players, or towards the last round as well when we witnessed it was from the far angle. But we did see the final kill cam replay of 2 members of Boise State, again, in open space and not covering each other, but very, very close together. So really leaving yourself open for an opportunity. So if your teammate gets taken down and their back wasn't covered by you and you just decide to bolt, it likely isn't going to go your way.
Yeah, it will be interesting as we shift to probably the least tactical of the 3 game modes, domination. Of course, it still is control the area, but there is the standard 3 flags that do not move. So I would say for Boise State, probably maybe their best chance here to snag a win, is it definitely feels like ICCU has the tactical game played down, but domination really is just extended team deathmatch with a flag you have to stand on. So I'll be really curious to see how ICCU plays that.
Changes. Well, domination, domination has always been one of my favorite. Again, it's one of the long-standing game modes. It's been around for basically ever, as long as I can remember in Call of Duty. Just a classic game mode. Yeah, like you said, it is. It's a kind of a more team deathmatch style with an objective placement. Maybe that's why it is. It's a little more along the lines of things like Overwatch players.
Yep.
But Valorant players clearly okay with the style of like search and destroy, things like that. But I do feel like a lot of these players for Boise State will be a little bit more comfortable on the style here. And clearly the green team is comfortable on anything, as they have taken the first 2 rounds. We started out with hardpoint. They dominated on that, and then going on to search and destroy. It didn't seem like quite a domination to start as Boise State took that first round, but it definitely turned into a Boise State only able to pick up 2 in the total and going down on that. So maybe leveling things out a little bit here for the Broncos going into round 3.
Yeah, we are going to be going to Azir Cave for game point for ICCU. So I will say Roman and Pickle Fork probably going to be happy. One of the maps that is a little bit more sniper friendly, especially through the rug shop into the back of the cave. So I'll be curious to see how they want to handle this. Is Boise State versus ICCU in the esports showdown, as we learn a little bit more about ICC, the Idaho Central Credit Union, who of course sponsor our player of the game. They have corporate gaming teams with their employees. They claim some of the best gamers in Idaho, known as the Green Team, taking on top varsity programs, including Boise State, and they are challenging the Broncos in several titles. StarCraft, Valorant, and Overwatch have all gone the way of Boise State, to my knowledge. Modern Warfare right now is trending in the direction of ICCU, and then Rocket League is coming up after this, so we'll see if the Go Green Team can tie, or at least narrow the series at 3-2. I know League of Legends is listed there. Have heard that potentially that might have been nixed at the last second. We will have to see. But it's actually going to be later tonight. I know there had been some rumors that it might not be happening, but that will actually be later tonight. So maybe the Go Green team can tie things up at 3 aside, and we'll have to have a tiebreaker. And I will more than gladly be the tiebreaker representative for Boise State and 1v1 somebody. Quickscope's only on Rust if we really, really need to get to that point.
We'll see if it does get to that. Like you said, though, at least for Call of Duty to start things out today in the first of these 3 games, ICCU and the Green Team are playing pretty heavy-handed. Boise State having a struggle, especially after being victorious in all 3 games yesterday, going through today maybe with a little bit too much of an ego on this one. Maybe need to settle back a little bit and respect the Green Team players. As we hop into Azir Cave now, round 3, hopping into domination.
Yeah, we see here, looks like Boise State, they are up against, yeah, don't click on the default classes. That would be a disaster. But Boise State's got to find a way to win this map to be able to force us back onto hardpoint, and to if we can maybe extend this series out, as the Go Green Team currently sitting up 2-0 right now. And I'll be really curious to see what Boise State has in store. Don't know if it was loser's pick, as we see in games like Overwatch and League of Legends in terms of maps and sides. Don't know if Boise State picked Azir Cave or not. Definitely not a map that I am very fond of, yes?
If my personal guarantee is if we don't win this map,
Doc is informing me.
then I'll sub you in and I have to catch.
All right, Doc is telling me if they lose this map, I'm in. That's what I've been told.
Yep. That is, I feel like that needs
I've
to
never
happen. I don't want Boise State to lose that map yet.
Yeah, I never don't want Boise State to lose, but I kind of want them to lose because I will gladly come in here.
I kind of want you, not even that I want Doc to come up on desk. I want to watch you play. I want to see what you can do with some of these calls that you've been making out here. I'd love to see that come to action, and I have faith in you, Fish.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, I know we're ready to go. I did not bring my own peripherals, but I know Boise State should have me stocked, as I will. So I'm sure ICCU will flame me in the chat, but I'm controller born and raised, so I need an Xbox controller to make this work. If I'm on mouse and keyboard, all bets are off. I'll be a disaster. But
I feel bad to admit I try mouse and keyboard, and I do so much better with a controller. I have a controller born and raised,
exactly.
You know what?
Yeah,
and saying that, you don't feel as bad about it.
No, 6 straight Call of Duties on the Xbox. You put the man on the keyboard, and I play with Brenner Bear, and he starts flaming me, and then I hard carry, and I'm like, Brenner, controller for life. I mean, you sit in the second place in the scoreboard spot. I'll sit right above you, and you can claim any lag.
What's your DPI? So what was your DPI again?
Yeah, maybe for Cold War I'll try it out, but for no. So as we said, it's Boise State ICCU. It's domination. The series would be wrapped up if ICCU wins, but maybe we'd be playing for some funsies. But Doc has personally said if Boise State loses their 3rd straight map, Fish gets to check in, Doc's on the desk, and Boise State, I guarantee you, if this was a best of 7, would have a reverse sweep. But ICCU is very scared. We got the Xbox. It's the 360 controller, too. I am so ready to go. It's like they went to my house and they grabbed it. So I am so ready if ICCU wants to keep playing after this Game 3, if they do win. I am so ready to step in here and absolutely just run shop on them as a ringer. So I'll be curious to see, but I want Boise State to win this one and not need their secret weapon called in quite yet.
We'll see how things start out. I think there's a little bit of a stall going in. It looked like we were loading into something, but then it cut away from the professor's screen. But we do at least know the map that we're on. Which one was it?
Yeah, we are on Azir Cave.
Thank you. Yes, Azir Cave, which you said you're not too fond of. I I haven't played, maybe it's because I haven't played too much of it, but I like Azir Cave.
Yeah, unfortunately, every map I get it's always the back of the destroyed building. There's a sniper sitting there. You try and flank, they immediately just pop you in the head. Plus, I'll be honest, maybe it's just me, but going from light to dark in Call of Duty, especially when they had the war zone at night, it's not the greatest. Those sight lines right when you enter the cave, not very easy here. So we'll see.
But
go ahead.
It is the most satisfying thing to run it down through the cave and come out the other side, to the opposite, to generally the enemy spawn point, and just mow through everyone. It can be very satisfying, but yes, it does feel very heavy-handed on this map. It's a lot less close game.
As we see here, both teams taking control of the spawn objective, A and C respectively. A for ICCU, C for Boise State. B has not yet been taken. Looks like Boise State is going to pick up B there in the cave. You see I Am Grill holding it down on the backside. Cosmo Buster pushing through. Flank coming out from somebody, and he gets gunned down. Nice flick by I Am Grill there, catching him off guard.
I Am Grill, yeah, a perfect camp spot and popping out at the perfect moment. Or really stationary for a second, but hey, you're not even going to be able to leave that spawn point and try to head towards B or C.
Boise State here. Looks like, nice little headshot there onto Like It. Trophy system deployed here by a member of ICCU. I Am Grill holds it down, though, perfectly. Got that angle behind that concrete cinder block. And Boise State holding on to B. And this is how you play domination to a T. You do not 3-cap, you 2-cap, and you spawn camp. And that's exactly what Boise State's doing right now on the red side. Oh, no.
Working out well. Doesn't look like they will need you. And now it goes into this one.
Oh, man. That's the most embarrassing thing to see. You pull out the sniper. There's a guy in front of you. Like, I can't do this. And you immediately put the sniper away. No, that's just... I hate to see the fact that we were on that player, because that, to me, is one of the most embarrassing moments in Call of Duty. Does look like B. Boise State's doing a great job just holding that one down. Semtex on the right side. Don't think he's going to find anyone. Looks like there is a member.
The contention on B is insane. This is definitely the point that we focus on now. No way. A 1-for-1 there. Boise State might lose point. Is going to lose B now. Finally, it looks like the green team taking over on that one. Has the upper hand.
You see, it looks like I Am Grill was still holding down the angle, but just wasn't close enough. And now the Go Green team is starting to push in. Unfortunately, still having a little bit of the camera issues. Can't quite see what the score is between the two sides. I have to think Boise State is winning by a decent margin. They held C and B for quite a long time to kick things off, but now it has been capped here. And now here comes the spawn camp in from ICCU. Nice job there by Cosmo.
Half a second skew there by that green team member, positioned perfectly on the spot where Cosmo was going to emerge. Took a half second to look away, possibly going to relocate after that, and it was just enough time for Cosmo to put up those sights and find the target. So Boise State definitely has to be in the lead at this point, as they have reclaimed A.
Yeah, those look like Spades going for the back cap on C, so the teams might just end up flipping spawns, as I think that is going to be the case. Yeah, C will be capped, so teams end up just going to flip spawns here, so B's still highly contested. Usually A and C just remain for whoever's spawning there, and then B is the contested objective in domination, because you don't want to go for the 3-cap, because that enables them to spawn all over the place. You want to go for the hard spawn camp and be able to just gun them down in their spawn. Right now, doesn't look like any pressure over on B, though, as we see somebody for ICCU holding down the back flank here.
We can hear a lot of gunfire, though, and I mean, clearly a fight going on, but just based on what we're seeing right now with this view. Oh, this member might have pulled it out the wrong time. Looking at that menu option right as an enemy came into sight. It's another member of Boise State going down there, though. So holding off that position worked out well, at least for this C side, but it doesn't look like that's what the fight is. Once again, seems to be entirely around B.
Yeah, looks like actually ICCU has pulled off the 3-cap here. They have gotten all 3 positions. Let's go. You can see a couple members spawning over by C. I Am Grilled there. Guns him down. Should open up C potentially. Got to watch out from the angle from the rubber shop. And Boise State learning that, as you can see, I Am Grill very hesitant to push through, as we saw in Search to Destroy Jolly. The Go Green team does a really good job of holding multiple angles. You can see Spade and Waldo all rushing over there.
And getting to the head game of Boise State as well, it seems, because they hold those angles so consistently and so well for so long that Boise State ends up kind of going a little erratic in their positioning themselves, and it always ends up working out for that. Boise State needs control with a level head. They need to slow things down a little bit, but here it looks like they are going to be able to take B unless the green team can say something about that as one member of Boise State goes down.
Yeah, Brenner gets gunned down as well, so it looks like they will be able to clear off B. And now it looks like this is the ICCU team that we have seen before. They are holding down the 3 cap. Once again, unfortunately, cannot quite see the score in domination. It is first to 200. But unfortunately, we haven't had the score up here the whole game. But I'd have to think that ICCU's maybe up 20-ish points, maybe. I just guesstimating, of course. Now we see Boise State back on A, going to slow that cap speed down a little bit there.
Yeah, it started heavily in Boise State's favor for sure, holding A and B for the first quarter of the game maybe, and then once ICCU managed to kind of flop things around and force Boise State to head back to B, once they regained control of C after that, things have clearly gone in their favor in terms of keeping that vision on both sides of this defending point. It looks like C is going to be the next point of focus here for Boise State, and immediately the members of ICCU don't want that to happen, like it might be spotted out here. Let's see if that's nice come through, and it does not.
Unfortunately, no. This is the point where, you get somebody like he's going to 1 into 2. I guess he gets gunned down here. But this is the point where if you're Boise State, you send someone to C. As soon as you pull off the rotation from ICCU, you back cap on B. And that's when you open it up to a 2v1 cap situation once again. This is Boise State versus ICCU Esports Showdown. Game 3 in Call of Duty. And unfortunately for Boise State, it looked like that might have been Brenner Bear getting gunned down from behind.
I think Cosmo Buster picked up that kill actually, so I'm not sure exactly who it was on to there, but Boise State really just trying to prevent this from entirely now going ICCU's way. The last, probably second half of this game, they have either been in control of 2 or 3 of the points, as we saw for about a minute there, which is a long time to be able to hold down all 3 points for that. Boise State now going to be moving in once again onto C. 3 members relatively close together with pulling off here. Not a good start.
Yeah, looks like I am going to lose that gunfight. Second member of Boise State couldn't quite find the sight line, and there's a Claymore in the window there. So not sure that's a very this building, not a very common one to be on the first floor of. So we'll be curious to see if that Claymore gets any value. So they're waiting to peek, and right now it's a 3 cap for ICCU. You see Boise State trying to C. Looks like they will be able to do it, but you have to think that ICCU pretty close to winning here. Can't quite tell, but I'd have to think for how long they've held a 3 cap. They probably should be pretty close.
Overall, I know we had the great overhead before. We had a good spectator who kind of flopping through it. Now it's like we're just getting that first-person player view, which is nice to see these intimate moments, but definitely tough, for us to be able to give you guys the overhead on how things are really going. Again, ICCU has to be in the lead at this point. They got to be getting relatively close, as Boise State did manage to capture C, but instantly A was swapped over, and ICCU constantly in control of at least 2 of these points.
Yeah, Boise State, we see them, they're holding down C. Nice flank here from a member of ICCU. Can't quite find it, though. He had 3 members of Boise State in his sights. Heartbeat being used here by, I believe this is Professor. I think I saw from the other angle. He's going to get grenaded out there. Going to try and flank around. He's got, I think, Spade pushed to his right. And he can't quite get over the wall. Unfortunately, Spade's going to be able to run him down.
There's a barrier there. You do have to jump over that, and it looked like Professor took an extra half second to kind of walking into that corrugated metal. Roman in the sights and will be taken down here. But once again, a point was swapped over. C was recaptured there by ICCU, and instantly Boise State took B, and then instantly ICCU captured C, and now they are focusing on trying to regain all 3 points here. Boise State needs to make a move quickly, as that point is going over. It is gonna go over in favor, and Boise State now gonna try to recapture that one.
Yeah, looks like still a 2v1 hold here for ICCU. Unless it's a custom score, I would have thought they would have already hit 200, which is usually what you play domination to. Maybe they upped it to 300 or 400. It looks like maybe production. I can see from my production screen that they have a Google. Wow, actually no, that was 200. That was actually a very long game. Boise State putting in a good effort there. Not quite 2-1, 200 to 113, but a great job there by ICCU after about the first quarter of the map, really flipping things up against Boise State.
Yeah, and Boise State holding those 2 points. Clearly, it was longer than maybe the first quarter of the map. Maybe it was the first third. As we saw, they got to 113 points, and were holding really just 1 point for after that first third of the game went past. They did their best to try to snap over to 2, but instantly as soon as they did try to converge onto C or A or B, really wherever it was, instantly the green team had a response and remained in control of 2 of those. So that means the green team is looking real good to start things out today.
Yeah, and it does look like, as Doc promised, we're going to have a swap here, I think. I could see him getting his headset ready behind us. So, as you mentioned, ICCU's picked up that one. Curious to see, maybe we can get a short break here so we can flip everything around, keep going here. But Boise State has called in a substitution. And I'll be really curious to see how this substitute's able to pull things off. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the substitute right after this.
You won't.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Legendary parts for legendary wins. It's about time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Of course, this is Boise State versus the Green Team from ICCU, Idaho Central Credit Union. And there's been a switch, a substitution on the desk, and therefore a substitution in the game. I'm Dr. Chris Haskell. Please just call me Doc. And we are here in the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. And this is not a space that I get to hang out very much, so I'm going to need all the help I can get. Now, as you see behind me, there are many different players playing this crack Green Team squad. And I'm in a perfect position to be able to tell you how good this ICCU team is. But in order to make that happen, I've got to have the right person with me. And, of course, that's Lisa Jolly-Malhas. And she's been watching this thing. Now, let's leave my performance out of it for a second. But tell me, what's the character of these two teams?
that the green team is in full control, whether it is retaining flank positions or vantage points, or whether it is just acquiescing to the new location in domination, in hardpoint, moving over to that new place to lock down. They're just moving on it quick. Boise State is getting some really, really good plays, some really quick plays, and it seems like the starts of these rounds are going in their favor, and they're losing a little bit of momentum as things continue on. But we know that now Mr. Fish is up on board, our Michael Fisher, and I don't want to say I am more hopeful than when you were on board there, Doc. I respect you too much to say that, but I am very confident with the words that Fish has put behind some of the stuff he said earlier tonight. I have faith that he is going to be bringing this game home. There we can see him from behind at Doc's setup right there, getting prepped to load in. I'm very excited to see this. I'm excited to see his actions behind the words that he said.
Exactly. So it's the put up or shut up moment for Mr. Fisher right now as he's in the game. But I think that he's going to do a lot more putting up than maybe I was able to do. Now in that last game, I want to call out my own statistics there. I had one elimination in that final domination map. And I thought domination was going to be my map. At first, I equipped, with every single one, I equipped the heart rate sensor. I thought I'm going to provide a lot of good data for my team. I was not able to provide a lot of good data for my team because all of a sudden they were on you. See, here's what ICCU is doing really well. They are moving as a group with a clear objective. I don't want to call out anybody in my comms, but it was probably Brenner, and it was definitely Cosmo and myself. No, we were constantly trying to go, okay, do we want to do this next? Do we want to? I don't think ICCU has any of that latency. I think they knew exactly where they wanted to go and how they wanted to get there. And eliminations were just a slight distraction to getting what they wanted. They did a great job.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, the acquiescence to movement from hardpoint, for instance, a couple seconds before the point moving, already the green team navigating to where it possibly might be and retaining control immediately the second that point dropped. We're seeing some hardpoint replays from earlier today, and this was one that seemed like Boise State might have had a bit of fight, but really I would say a hard point was the most overwhelming victory for ICCU so far. Boise State kind of picking things up a little bit, taking a few more rounds for themselves, but this one, that hard point was tough. Search and destroy, you guys had a little bit more success on that one. How did that feel compared to
the search and destroy was a lot more like what we're comfortable with when we have just a moment to talk about what the plan is. The no respawn really helped us quite a bit because we could capitalize more permanently on mistakes that they made, but they adapted really fast. Once they realized that they needed to start moving someone to high ground, we couldn't snap around corners fast enough until we knew where folks were. So we'd snap around a corner, somebody would be on top of train. Next round, they'd be on bottom of the train, and we could not overcome their good planning. And of course, me not being able to finish a couple of those eliminations, especially on the search and destroy, that was too much for us. But as it's going here, we've got we're back to hardpoint for this round, and then we've got one more search and destroy to finish it out. I think at this point, the only victory that Boise State is capable of is a moral victory, and just holding serve on one of these maps, maybe taking one of them with Fish in the lineup, might be the way to do it. As we look over here, they're getting pretty close to being able to get into game. I think they're in lobby. So who are the standouts for ICCU for you?
Spades has been doing a spectacular job. As much crap as Fish has given him for pulling out the sniper rifle and being very unsuccessful time after time, there were enough snapshots and enough incredible plays by Spades there. I would say Lycan for Boise State, they're doing a fantastic job. Of Valorant player, so we know is familiar with the FPS style of game there. But yeah, ICCU really, I would say Spades is the standout, but I know as soon as the game loads in, I'm going to be like, nah, this is really the player that has been been the one that I've been watching out for. So we'll see how things work out, though, because Fish being in the rotation can change things up a lot. And like you said, I mean, as we know, Duck's keys to the game's communication is up there. Communication is key. And so maybe this is what was needed. Maybe Fish has the confidence in this one to be that primary shot caller that ICCU might already have, with the confidence to follow out. So Boise State might have found the missing link to this team.
And sometimes simply changing up a group gives a team more confidence. We know when we substitute in a player who might be playing fine, but the team is not playing well, and you bring in a different dynamic. You bring in a player. I mean, Overwatch, for example, when we make a swap and maybe bring in a Rezo who plays differently, who aggresses differently, a team has to adapt to that, and our team is able to then just a millisecond longer to capitalize on some of the decisions we've made. Yeah.
Maybe throw them onto their heels, for a little bit, even just to start. It does seem, though, that the green team is very adaptable, as you mentioned earlier as well. Something like Search and Destroy, where you guys started out doing very, very successfully, taking that first round, and then just the adaptability of ICCU, of that green team, was so strong that you were only able to take a second round right before they closed it out there with the final match. So, Fish might be enough, but the green team might also have enough confidence to, once they figure out his play style, being able to navigate around that and still keeping control of the map, because that has been their style of game so far tonight. Just dominating control of, as I mentioned, the flank points, the vantage points, things like that, certainly working out for them. But you know what? Based on some of the comments that Fish made about the weapons of choice, I'm curious to see what he pulls out, because he was harassing some of the players. It didn't matter which team they were on, ICCU or Boise State. And I'm curious about his loadout.
So here's part of the problem with the loadout, and one of the reasons that we had such a poor performance in the first game, and this is not to excuse the rule set, because maybe I wasn't as focused on the rule set, but none of our loadouts came over, so we had to rebuild those loadouts. If you're not accustomed to building loadouts and remembering what you like to have and the difference between, different things in different situations, it's a really slow process. I know that he's going to have to build out a few of his loadouts for this custom. Again, ICCU so well prepared because they had spent time in Call of Duty rules. They had really optimized their weapon selection. We talk about never taking a fair fight, Lisa. I mean, what ends up happening is they have the right players with the stuns, the right players with the smokes, and they are well equipped to move into a point, to take advantage of that first firefight and just get the one or the two eliminations right up front that allows them to secure it. They made all the right choices coming into the game, and ICCU is super strong in this way.
Well, hopefully then the adjustments to loadouts and maybe this little bit of extra time will also help the remaining players of Boise State that might not have ironed out their loadouts or not known exactly what they wanted to go into. This last match might have given them the opportunity to figure out, hey, that's right, I did want this other ability or special or whatever it is. And now you guys can go in with a little bit more confidence here. And again, just having Fish there, I'm sure the rest of the team, I could see even in the chat a little bit ago when it was first announced that once he's jumping in, you will be hopping up here that they're stoked. People are stoked to see, again, put his money where his mouth is, but
Absolutely.
also to hopefully see the formation of this team come together, as Boise State seems a little bit erratic, a little bit separated. And what you said actually totally makes sense, just in that those shot calls are not quite as convincing, or you guys aren't as dedicated because you're not 100% certain on how this green team is going about engaging on these fights.
Yeah.
And it seems like they know exactly what you guys are thinking. Either that or they have the complete dominance and enough confidence with their plays that they know that you guys don't have the time to react.
And in the comms there was even a best way to describe it, I would think, is a Top Gun moment where they just descended on one of our points of domination, and someone said, "Where'd he go?" and someone else, "Where'd who go?" And we couldn't. Lycan did a great job. Of course, Cosmo on the Koba account did a great job. Savannah did a great job, but maybe their fifth was not as helpful as it could have been. So, changing out this fifth, we'll see if we've got it. Of course, on the Boise State team, we've got Fish, Brenner, Cosmo not featured there, but we can probably get that graphic in there nonetheless. I am Grill, excuse me, and of course, Lycan. We've got Spades. We've got Midiots or Middits. We've got Roman. We got Pickle Fork, and of course, Waldo. Spades is the Nick Stewart is the one who's really kind of tearing things up.
Yes. Roman and Spades,
Yep.
those two royal suits right there, and certainly working out well for the green team. No purple in that royal suit yet,
No.
but I mentioned I love the jerseys as well that these guys have. Always exciting to see a formation like this within a Idaho Central Credit Union. I honestly, before this event, had no clue this was going on. Atlas Superstore is where we're going to start here on a hard point. And it seemed like Fish had some opinions on these maps. I'm curious to see, how are the maps chosen, by the way? We were kind of talking about that. Is it a loser selection or is it pre-selected?
In most cases, it was the map that I wanted was quickly moved aside, the one that I was comfortable with. And let's do this. No. We were not aware of the maps that were being pulled up. I think that they're selected by production here. All right, so we're looking on the red side here. Allegiance, of course, this is the green team. Wearing the red right now with Boise State. Oh, excuse me, Boise State on the red side. Yeah. Green team wearing the blue.
Yeah, and we'll see exactly how Boise State decides to engage on this one. Back to hard point. As we know,
I think Michael is laying down real fast.
Spades get this double kill there, taking down Brenner Bear with a headshot, and on the other side, Waldo takes down I Am Grill, and oh my gosh, Lycan, the one member of Boise State who's been able to put up a lot, gets taken down there after a double kill, and Spades gonna find out another one here, though.
Oh my goodness, Boise State falling like crazy right now, only 3 in the fight.
This is a rough approach for Boise State. Just as I said, Hardpoint was really the first game, and I know you guys didn't have any of your key bindings set up on this or any of your loadouts set up, but Hardpoint was certainly one that was most dominant from ICCU. There we can see Spades taking out Brenner Bear, not even giving them a chance to see the enemy.
No, and as you look at the mini-map down in the lower left corner, you see the angles that they are setting up. Now, they're a little bit underhanded right now, but jumping in behind it. They are covering all directions.
Oh, no! Speaking of that, we just saw an overhead there. I think it was Waldo who ended up getting pinched back. Now Boise State claiming control of this area here. It looks like the hard point has gone back over to the coalition, though. Woo-wee!
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this, this Codcaster approach. You switch teams, things flip around on you a little bit, so we've got to pay close attention. But still under control as we look from the Boise State side as they try to eliminate some folks. A quick little stim pack to get things back up and running. But the sniper rifle not really working that well for Michael. He was saying, didn't he call him out for using the sniper rifle before?
I don't know if it was Michael. It was mostly Spades, I believe. Spades, I think, was the one that was taken out the sniper for the most part, and it was not really working well for anyone. And there we can see, right again, Spades ends up getting taken down by Lycan, and then Waldo, in the meantime, takes down Koba. So Waldo has been on fire here. We can see Picklefork sitting at a 4-5 page for everyone. Very aggressive on the side of the green team.
Yep, less than 10 seconds now, only 5 left on this hard point. They're going to start to move to the next one. You can see them starting to fan out the blue team down on the bottom, kind of moving into space there, but they're going to lose a couple. They've got a little bit of advantage. Nope, they're down a full man right now.
Not after I Am Grill comes from behind and takes down Roman and Spades and a couple of shots there. Koba finding some for himself as well. Or sorry, Cosmo Buster playing on Koba's account. Cosmo Buster has figured things out as well. Now that those loadouts are set up.
Yeah, there we go. So they're going to start to tick up this hard point, and they're going to get as far as they can with it. But the nice little campy camp right there. I'm sorry, tactical positioning, trying to just make it a little bit harder for them to move in and take the space. But Boise State doing a good job holding it, but they just are not using the accessories in the same way that Green Team is doing.
We just saw a couple of grenades come out there. I think Michael and Brenner Bear took one down, and now Picklefork, Spades, and Roman are going to eliminate almost all of Boise State there from the fight.
They're going to get it ticking up here. Of course, we got to get Boise State, of course, to take that. Oh, Spades, 5 kill spree right now. He is just popping off. I can't see anybody else really being the player of the game. How do you think Michael's doing in this case right now?
He's struggling. He keeps trying to set up those sniper points and then gets mowed down from behind almost every time. Now, 8 and 7, though, is the case. So while most of what we've been seeing, I guess, from his perspective has been more negative play, he's sticking with that sniper. He is committed to making kills with that, and he's got a positive kill death score. So I cannot fault him that much.
No, I agree completely. In fact, he has more eliminations in this one round than I had in 3.
That's a rough statement, I'm sure, for you.
Yeah,
right
well,
there.
you know what? I'm just glad to see a teammate doing well. I'm here for the team.
Frequency Pickle for getting taken down. A lot of that coalition is being removed as the hard points. He's got 15 seconds left before it moves, and it is contested now.
Oh,
really? What a nade!
Yeah, they really are doing well with the grenades, both smoke and all the others. I mean, the lethal and the tactical.
Lycan there in a great position, picked up 2 onto Spades and Waldo, and then got hit from behind by jumping Armadillo. The headshots from Spades are really what are impressive. The amount of headshot kills that he's managed to get. There's another one. I think Michael goes down very quickly. Boise State just trying to figure out a position to get into to contend with this green team right now.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of finding where he's located. He tends to hold a position. Again, I'm not calling him a camper. He's positioning himself appropriately, but they're putting lethals onto him and making it much harder for him to stay. They are all roamers here.
All roamers, and Roman is definitely doing that for sure. Holding it down on this.
Yeah.
And there we go. Not picking up 2 there.
There we go.
Woohoo!
Nice.
The shotgun working out very well for that one fish.
They flood on real quick and take it back very, very fast here. The gun speed, getting that gun up. Look at that. He just did that tactical lay down.
The drop shots. Definitely see a lot of those in close quarters. Clearly, it's always a good option to use drop shots or to
It's a sign of an experienced player, honestly, to know that they are comfortable with drop shot engagements and they know exactly how to aim it up.
And being able to get that target acquisition and follow the shots up, as you have to move you have to move upward as you're shooting on them. So definitely a sign of a good player. And another sign, hey, Roman sticking with the Cypher as well. They're
Brenner Bear with the
about
drop.
this one.
Boise State's got over 100 now. They're making this much, much closer.
Oh yes, this is a much closer game, and I don't want to say that Fish is that your lack of presence. It's definitely a Fish's presence.
You know what? Sometimes you make that change and you get a different kind of play style out of folks, and that's what's key.
Exactly. Yeah, and the communication again. We talked about that communication key, and I know that Fish is a very vocal player in this game, and in FPSs in particular. And so I'm sure that he is leading the charge for this team vocally, at least.
Yeah. I think that there's a real future for what ICCU is doing here, and we can talk about it in the break when the action's not happening, but some of the corporate leagues that are spinning up. We'll have to have that conversation for sure. Ooh, big elimination here. I think this might be it.
Not a jumping Armadillo on with response shots. There we go. They're not coping like it, finds them for themselves. We do have 30 seconds left on this hard point. So it's a good time for Boise State if they can gain control of it.
Oh my goodness. Michael, I just want him to be able to get a few more eliminations, move to the carry side of his team. Spades, just laying down, waiting for people to move on to point. He knows this point really well.
He gets taken down there by Brenner Bear, though. So 5 seconds left on this point. A grenade going out, not going to lead to a kill as the hard point is going to switch.
There we go. Then we get
automatically there. Look at that. I think we're already in position to defend.
You look at the red players, the Boise State players, always moving in different directions. But if you look at just the general direction of our blue team, which is the green team, not to confuse it with anybody, their arrows are pointing in the same direction. They're coordinating. They're really well.
Yeah, that, and then also, watching each other's backs. So not just the same direction, but when they are close together, it is back to back. It is generally 360 vision on the field, so that you are not flanked behind, because that to a full team wipe if somebody gets getting based on that. Spade surviving with the drop, and then gets taken down there by Lycan, but a jumping Armadillo is there to get the avenging kill in response. Still 13 seconds and still in control of the team.
And they are about to put a big gap on them right here. Boise State's got to get in there, get a couple of early eliminations, and then move in. I think that they're rushing in. It's a little panicky at this point.
It is, and I feel like, that might just be how the rest of this round might go. The fortunate side with hard point is when there's full control like this, to get into that headspace. It is hard to recover from it, especially with a newcomer to the group, as this is the first one that I think Michael or Fish is on. That is going to be its score limit reach. Still a valiant fight, though, from the Boise State team. 158 points. Getting a little comfortable. 158
Much different.
to that at 250. Yes, much different, a much harder fought.
Hopefully production will give us that stat, but I believe that there were 44 kills by Spades in that one. 44.
You know, that is a massive number. I'm not surprised, but still, that is astounding. And Spades, a good majority of those were headshot kills as well. And barely surviving is one of his specialties too. So you can, a lot of the time, it's true. A lot of the times, and we even saw right there at the end, almost the escape, the drop down, maybe the assumption there, because there were a couple members behind him, the assumption that he was down, and he popped back up, almost rounded the corner, and then got taken down by Lycan. But as we saw as well, Armadillo was right on the other side of that. So even if a member of the green team goes down, we can see Fish there.
All right, yep.
So exhale, that was a deep exhale. That one didn't go as planned, but still it went better than we could have expected with that new compilation of players.
And you know, Jolly, he has the posture of somebody who's like, okay, I'm warmed up here, I'm ready to go. Okay, I understand it. Okay, I've got the rhythm, I've got the pace, I'm up to speed. Right now we can begin. And so let's evaluate the swap here. And I want credit for making a good swap. As a coach here. But let's evaluate the swap. Big change for Boise State?
You know, big enough, yes, in that fight was very much back and forth. There were many times where Boise State got control of the hard point when things kind of seemed lost. So it was much more cohesive movement and aggression, I would say, from the team on this one. Yeah, and things can only go up from here because, as you said, Fish is looking warmed up. He looks like a pro player right there. I almost see him like with one of the hot packs in his hands,
Yep.
sitting there warming up, shaking that thing, and getting ready to go into the next round. So I have confidence that Boise State will really be able to hold their own. But this green team has so much cohesion. They clearly have done this quite a bit. And you know what? The statement, I was a little astounded by the statement of some of the best players in Idaho, but they are they're proving that claim here today.
Yeah, and we'll see a little bit later today. So we're finishing with a team deathmatch. We just hear in our ear. This is going to be exciting, and it'll be interesting to see. I have not spotted if any of the players are in the Idaho Army National Guard. Warfare Redux, which is a modern warfare tournament that's coming up later today. But it'll be very interesting to see if because I think that they would do very, very well in this. They certainly could start to participate in some of the corporate leagues that are out there. And there are a handful of corporate for charity, for morale esports leagues. Some of them actually started by some friends of ours that we know really well. Adam and Tyler Rosen, formerly of Blizzard and Tespa, the creators of that. Kevin Ha, also formerly of Blizzard. There's a big push now for these corporate v corporate esports folks. And we may, because we've got such a close relationship with ICCU, we may look for opportunities to actually broadcast some of these matchups, like an ICCU versus an Apple Palo Alto or something like that.
Oh, yes. I would love that. And this is a team that we want to support. Idaho Central Credit Union has been there for the Boise State the esports broadcast for quite a while. We know that the replays and the player of the game at the end of the matches each time that is sponsored by ICCU. So exciting to see their players do this incredibly well and have such cool jerseys to top it off.
Yeah, and the jerseys are really, really well designed. Very cool. Go Green Team is the group, and ICCU for those who don't know, is a huge regional credit union that has started supporting a number of things. The arena next door to us, which is the hockey arena, has now taken on their name. They support massive efforts in education and helping students really go on, which is a big push for us in Idaho. And they've been a big supporter of our program. I don't think we need to declare that. If you see any of our stuff, you see a constant association with their logo. And maybe one of the greatest things that they've done is that they asked us, well, what do you need? And we're like, we need scholarships. We need to be able to support students for the time that they're spending, so that they don't have to work full time and go to school full time and then try to pursue their passions in broadcasting or playing. They've allowed us to bring in some fabulous talent and to support some great local talent that was already going to Boise State, but we could make their journey a little bit easier. And ICCU has been a huge part of that. So they're an incredible partner, and and while it always sucks to get beat, it's a little bit different when you feel like they're already part of your team.
It does feel pretty good to, claim the victory for them over Boise
Yeah,
State.
they've got to feel good.
Yes, I don't feel as bad as, if we're going up against some rival school. That is definitely not the case. This is a team that is a team to Boise State esports. And so
Yeah.
I love to see them do as well as they do. And granted, Boise State doesn't have a Call of Duty team. We know we've got a mishmash.
Yep.
We've got a Rocket League player. We've got a Valorant player. We got a Rainbow Six player on board right now.
Yep.
We had a caster, and we had you, and Rust. We wanted it, and we're getting it. Rust it is.
Yeah, all right, everybody, take your motion sickness meds right now, because this is going to be nauseous. It is so hard. We spend most of our time in the kill screen here. Although, if you're going to follow some folks, I think that really the secondary story here is the Spades v. Michael.
Oh, yes, that
Spades
was called
v.
out.
Fish.
Yeah, Spades definitely agreed to go into a 1v1. And as we can see, Spades and Lycan are going to be facing off here potentially.
Oh, here we go.
Either one or the other is there. And hey, look at that. He took it out. Is this allowed? I guess it's team deathmatch.
Oh, my goodness.
That is right. That Fish was given to the team before, apparently, it was coming in handy for himself.
Yeah, it takes so long to get there. And he's a little bit late on some of these. He's going to get eliminated up there for sure. Now, one of the things that he wanted to see was somebody getting a melee with that rocket launcher and getting elimination with the melee. But we haven't seen that. I think that'll be his goal. As we look at these, it's pretty even, back and forth. Coalition, of course, being the green team, and Allegiance being Boise State at this point.
So back and forth already. We just saw Boise State take control there, and now it's going to even things out for this death match. This is the one I would be surprised if Fish had a suggestion on this one there. He's going to pull out the shotgun, take one, and then get killed in response there from Roman, who's so quick on that trigger finger.
Yeah, absolutely. Another big elimination. Spades gets another, and gets Cosmo in this case. Lycan doing a nice job carrying his team. Michael gets one on Roman, a big one right there. That's awesome. Waldo getting a couple, including Michael in that case.
Yeah, quick retaliation there from the green team on to Boise State. They pick up a couple and decide to get a full team wipe plus more to follow things up 20 and 28. Now, though, as Boise State has taken a pretty solid drop here in kills compared to Coalition.
Yeah, it was side by side for a little bit. They're starting to come up just a hair. A couple by Cosmo. It just comes around and gets him. Michael goes down again. Roman keeps finding him. It just keeps happening. Finds himself in the wrong
picked
spot.
up four.
Yeah,
five in a row.
Oh my goodness.
There it is. Killing spree. He has got 5. There we can see the snipe coming through here. Fish called out Spades. He called out, I think he called out Jumping Armadillo or someone else that was trying to run it, pulling it out himself and finding a lot of success.
He is. The Broncos making a real big comeback in the red right now, really on the character of Cosmo. He's playing the Koba account. Goes down right there. Lycan can't quite get it. Spades just starting to put together a kill streak of himself. He keeps finding, I think his bullets kind of just home on Michael. That's a mess right there.
That's how he wants it to go, though. I think Michael is Fish, right? I've got that right.
I think Michael is Fish.
It's Fish here. Oh, Fish, Michael Fisher. So
yep,
you know that.
Exactly.
That would Michael Fisher. Exactly. That would make sense there. So, I feel a lot more confident in that in particular. Actually, there we see pistol coming out.
Oh.
No pistol whip needed. A headshot onto Roman there from Cosmo Buster, who has found the map he loves. There we see Spades getting yet another sniper headshot. These are ridiculous.
Boy, they are. Okay, a little less than 7 minutes to go here. Still kind of back and forth. Any one of these folks can get a big swing here. I am Brill doing a nice job of just covering those angles. And that's what you have to do. You have to just be willing to cover those angles. Maybe not even as much running around as they're doing. Almost the Romer style. Ooh! Michael gets another elimination. He's going to come around that corner. Oh, a little bit of stim pack right there for Fish. And he's gonna try. Oh, again, here we go. Just keep using it. Getting his elimination, staying alive a little bit longer. Yep, it's Jolly and I on the cast because I got subbed out for Fish, who is carrying everybody, getting his backpack. It's Michael Fisher coming off right now with a big lead of 8 for Boise State.
17, 18 kills now there for Fish, representing Boise State very well. Giving him up to 19. Give it to him. He is going to end up going down at their 2-wall, though, but this is what he wanted. We talked about Rust while you guys were setting up earlier, how it is one of our favorites.
Yeah.
I'm actually most surprised by how little vantage point play we have seen. This is all ground play. This is running around, sliding, using those containers, and just sticking together. And usually we see a lot more vertical play on this map.
Goodness.
No way!
Okay. I'm going to I realize that on our map list, we only have 5 spots. But just like in horse, when you hit that game-winning shot, you can either take it or you can make them prove it. And so that's what we're going to do, production. We want them to prove it. Did they just run it? If so, prove it. One more. Team deathmatch. Same settings, same map.
Rust.
75,
Yes.
72. We can't end with this, right?
I'm so down for that. I need a rematch. I cannot believe how quickly that victory was taken over. That control was taken over by
I'm
the
pretty
VP.
sure in the stats, unless he snuck by at the end, I'm pretty sure Fish had more eliminations than Spades. I mean, it was it was going back and forth. We don't have a full stat chart, but I think that was the case. Anyway, yes, Green Team is probably going to be able to. Well, yes, I mean they've earned that final logo spot right in our maps right here, but I think they have to prove it. I think they have to prove this shot. It was 75-72. Come on, that's too close
And
to
it
call.
started out actually Boise State a lot lower down there. We're going to actually pull that up, and it was Spades at 18 and Fish at 21.
At 21.
The KD was 1.3 there for Spades and 1.4 for Fish. Only picked up the 1 assist, but many more kills. So hey,
yeah, and we're going to need Brenner Bear to do a little bit more. I'm going to call out my guy right here. One of the most talented people we have at this university. He can play, he can cast, he's super talented. But 4 eliminations, Brenner Bear. You're going to be running laps is what's going to happen.
For a Rainbow Six player, Brenner Bear's a Rainbow Six player, it's a lot slower. It is a lot more about getting into position, watching those flank points, things like that. And so to go into a map like Rust, team deathmatch, that many players just running around, and again, especially with the game really entirely being on the ground, there were so many deaths. Nobody even had the chance to try to climb that tower, and that's where we see a lot of the fight usually occurring in some of the tunnels as you go upwards, or just sitting at the vantage points. Considering we had so many sniper rifles, there were just ground shots. They were hitting close ones, and so we'll see if that changes or if these guys both stick with that same style and just go in full aggro.
Yeah, and I think we'll getting around the world here in a second, just get a sense of what our players are doing. We can't tell yet if they are going to run this map back. There's our production doing a fabulous job. If you guys don't know who Ray is and you don't know who Salazan is right there, amazing people. Okay, Michael is not going anywhere. So Mr. Fisher is getting ready to get this team in there. Brenner Bear over on the there he is right there on our camera doing a great job. 4 eliminations. You're going to have to best that. Okay, double is what we want. Excellent.
He's got you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we got those vantage points trying to run through. Maybe snag a couple of those to start things out. Even the containers on the corners. If you can get into prone, the trouble is trying to get on top of them without being spotted. But if you can manage to get onto one of those corner containers into prone, you have a spectacular view of. Usually, I mean, it is such a small and condensed map that you obviously don't have an overhead of everything. Even if you're standing at the tippy top of that freaking tower.
Absolutely.
But you do have a solid point to try to prevent the enemy team from coming close to that corner or even that side, but also to force them to try to pick you off, to try to get you down, and either by making them move to a vantage point of their own, or by completely coalescing on you as an individual, which is always great because your team can send behind to flank on that.
We're still engaged in the battle clearly, and I think that they're building up to do this. I just checked Pennsylvania. also confirming that ICCU won that last map. I will have to see. I know it's too close to call at this point. We're still waiting on Arizona to decide whether it's ICCU or Boise State.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So
We'll have to see.
So now that they have this play style for Michael kind of figured out, are they going to have an advantage now, ICCU? Do you think they're going to? Their teamwork has been so good.
I honestly think that this map, I think that there's enough of an advantage for the individuals, for primarily Cosmo Buster and Fish here, that I think that they still have a really good opportunity for Boise State to take down ICCU. I don't know if that was enough for them to learn, because it was such quick play, and those two players did so well, and especially Cosmo, who was not struggling a little bit, but definitely did not play nearly as well as that last round.
No kidding. Okay, we're off to a hot start right away, but just as expected, just step for step. Brenner Bear is going to try to cross there, is able to, thank goodness. Not eliminated right away. Spades, though, picking out several, including Brenner on that last one. Michael goes down. Spades then goes down himself. Cosmo popping off again. As we see this, it's just back and forth. Who's going to get the positioning to be able to just continue to spray?
And already the advantage in numbers starting out here for Boise State. A good start for them. And look how condensed these players are, though. It's not working as poorly as you might think. It's not a single individual player able to spray everybody down, because both teams are moving as these really condensed groups. And so the reaction is to just take turn and spray whenever you get the opportunity.
Jumpin' Armadillo doing a really nice job of knowing where he can play and what his fire angles are, being very, very patient, waiting for others, including Boise State, to make positional mistakes right there. A little firefight inside the box does not go well, of course, for Michael, unfortunately. Armadillo hitting him in that case, too. Lycan not as many, Waldo with almost no KD, but it looks like Michael's not having the hot start that he had, but he did get pretty streaky in the last one. Waldo with his second elimination. They're playing a lot safer, ICCU is.
And FaZe is trying to prove something here. Was on a 5-kill streak there, so a killing streak did end up getting shut down there, but already vantage points now being accessed here. Coalition and the green team are the ones who decide to take the first move up there, and Boise State knows there's not much you can do about it unless you send a member or two who is covered by another player up towards that ladder.
Yeah, Michael not with the same KDA that he had last time. He's on the wrong side with more Ds than Ks, and goes down again. That'll be 10 for Michael to 3 eliminations only.
17 kills for Spades. Has gone down a good amount, but so consistent on being able to engage and disengage on the fight. You can see, though, that Fish wants to prove himself as well, picking up a double kill there. A little bit of a response, though, back from the ICCU. And this one is much closer for Boise State, of course, a 10-kill lead. That's going to change very quickly, though.
Yes, it is. Oh, my goodness. Running it down. They need to just start to play a little bit safer. I think that they're adapting now to the ICCU play style, but probably they're going to make a big switch. Roman doing a nice job, but he's been found out 10 times so far. He's not having the same success that he did in the first game. Michael, though, has got to start getting more value over time, but the time is ticking with less than 7 minutes left in this Prove It 6th map.
Where is the Javelin? I mean, I know this isn't necessarily the map for it, but hey, you know what? If you want to be able to get that
he's
melee,
going to call it in. He heard Central Command calling for that, and I think we're going to see that Javelin here really, really soon. The problem is they know.
We saw it for half a second. Hey, you know what? They might not. We saw it for half a second, and then immediately it was put away there. Spades just got 4 in a row now. There it is, a big struggle. Going to be a big struggle for Fish as we can see that called. Oh my goodness!
Yes.
You see the kill streak called down here right now, getting no pickups from that directly.
Yeah, Brenner Bear goes down.
After it.
Ooh, the gap is only 5 now. Coming back here, this is a much better push right now for the Broncos. A lot of the green team eliminated on that last one. You just see the kill feed on the left side going. But look at the spacing. There's a lot more movement from the red team, a lot less movement from the blue team. They're holding angles. They know what they've got to cover, and they're just playing the math of it. And there it is, 75-75. 64-67. We hand the ball back to ICCU and go green team and say, all right, prove that E shot and horse, and they prove it. So
you wanted the proof, it's in the pudding. We see it right there. Buzz kill, double kill, my goodness, Spades.
Yeah.
I do want to know how many kills Spades ended up getting there.
Yeah, we'll get those stats to you in just a second because I think everybody is interested. We'll bring them up. Oh, they're on the screen here for a moment. Yeah. Okay. Michael, 11 elims.
Is that a 50?
Yeah, very good. Michael
what
had a
does that say
nice
up
little
there?
comeback. He also chipped in on a few people that others finished off with 5 there. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
They had 30 kills.
Oh, dear.
Spades heard us say, "Oh, you didn't get as many kills as Fish in that first round." It was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that was the game we were playing." Well, here you go. 5 assists, 19 deaths, a 1.58 KD ratio there for Spades. So yeah, like I said, you wanted proof. There it is in the pudding. 75-67 as opposed to the last round was 75-72. So a much closer one. This one seemed in the overall to start.
Yep.
And then as soon as that rhythm got hit by the green team, they couldn't lose that stride.
In order for there to be a rivalry, the opponent has to punch you in the mouth. Otherwise, there, it's just so like, all right, okay. So they came ready to go here and definitely brought the stronger squad today. We made a good switch. We got a stronger squad in the mix, but maybe starting me in the first place was a bad idea. So this was the 6th match, the prove it shot. The first one kind of rattled in, gave us maybe they don't really, and then the second one was nothing but net. So that brings them the victory in this Call of Duty. But this isn't it for today. We're going to split it up in some interesting ways. But next comes Rocket League. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with Cosmo Buster and the crew, and hopefully we'll see some redemption in that Rocket League game. Then we'll continue to broadcast and bring you the finals of the Idaho Army National Guard Rocky Mountain Warfare Redux, which is an amazing Warzone tournament. 2 teams side by side dropping in as a quartet, 2 teams of 2, and it's elimination race through. It's so exciting. You're going to love this. Then we come back tonight with a League of Legends match, which, of course, ICCU versus Boise State. You're going to see some of the depth of Boise State's roster and some fabulous players. Mary the Ethereal is going to be in that game. There's rumor that Glovely may be in that game. So much still to come. We've also got some production who would like to get in on that game. So once we see some OPGGs, I think we'll make that. So real quick, before we go here, I think we're going to see a player of the game. Who are you giving it to?
Oh, goodness. I mean, it's got to be Spades. We're talking Boise State. If we're talking Boise State...
It's got to be Lycan or Cosmo. Probably Lycan.
It's got to be Lycan. It's got to be Lycan. I would say towards the end there, Cosmo would be my pick. If we were saying just the fish games,
Spades!
Cosmo would. It's Spades. All right. So it is going to be the Boise State backing, but you know what? That green team logo still on there, and that is well deserved. That is a well deserved award for you. And hey, you know what? It's granted to you by the Idaho Central Credit Union. How fitting is that?
Absolutely. Idaho Central Credit employs him as a mortgage loan processor, but in this case, he is ICCU's most deadly assassin. Spades getting the drop on so many folks. And here is this. Yes, that was me, by the way. It was the elimination that I took to Spades. I thought I had the drop on him, but I did not. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and that final round especially, we saw so many multi-kills coming out of Spades, and then again, 30 kills there at the end. Definitely picked up a few deaths, making that about a 1.5 KD, but still overwhelming in taking control of that map. Boise State, though, I would say Boise State, it would have to be Lycan for the overall consistency. But those last few games with Fish, Cosmo Buster,
it
really
got a lot
blew it out of
better.
the
And
water.
of course, the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes that great players, a great player makes a team more successful. And Spades was definitely that guy. And so Idaho Central is always helping members and even their employees, right, achieve financial success. So Idaho Central Credit Union, Spades, you're the player of the game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Going up on that wall forever, the board forever. You got to print that one out. Take a screenshot now.
Oh yeah.
Print that one out and give that to your boss and say, hey,
Yeah.
remember, that group you got together. Yeah, those varsity pro players, those semi-pro players that you are familiar with. Yeah, they're nothing for us. It's no contenders.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna leave you with some top 5 plays. But again, calling an audible, we're gonna get Michael Fisher for a post-game press conference right over here in just a second. So we'll take a short break. We'll give you some top 5. We'll come back with a post-game press conference. We'll take a short break and then come back with Rocket League. So don't go away. I mean, what else are you doing? It's mid-November. It's hang out with us. Watch it. So we'll be back in just a second.
Change class real quick there, Roman. That was pretty bad. The sensitivity was extremely slow on that one. So he tried.
I'm walking through a minefield right here of people. Great smoke though.
And the battle hardened as well for the blast grenade. ICCU coming out ready to play. You see the last.
Boise State started things off great on the second round.
Like Buster did get somebody was behind him, I think. Gets from the perk there, and he's gonna try and frag grenade. Nice.
A planted.
Ooh, A is planted, but it's up to Professor for the 1v3 clutch. Trying to hold it down, gonna get sprayed though. Nice job by Jumping Armadillo. That'll be a defense.
That seems to be the name of the game for this round, at least for certain. Right here.
Ooh.
Oh, we like it and get one, and then immediately be taken out by Steve there.
Doc trying to spray down with the LMG. Did some damage.
Oh my God!
Spinning circles, and he takes it down. It's down to a 1v1. Jumping Armadillo.
Appropriately, but they're putting lethals onto him and making it much harder for him to stay. They are all roamers here.
All roamers and Roman definitely doing that for sure. Holding it down on this.
Yeah.
And there we go. Picking up 2 there.
There we go.
Woohoo!
Nice.
A shot.
Players, the Boise State players, always moving in different directions. But if you look at just the general direction of our blue team, which is the green team, not to confuse it with anybody, their arrows are pointing in the same direction. They're coordinated. They're really well.
Yeah, that and then also.
All right, it is the post-game press conference, and the tables have been turned. Mr. Michael Fisher is joining us in the hot seat, and I'm going to return fire. Michael, really? The rocket launcher, how'd that work for you?
It didn't work out, unfortunately. I have a strategy on Russ with the javelin, but they weren't camping there quite yet. Had I waited a little bit longer, I think I would have been able to pull it off. But it was a great meme. If we came back to Hardpoint, I was ready to go, and unfortunately, we played it in Atlas Superstore. So the map choice wasn't the best, but I was really close to pulling the meme off.
Okay, so when you came in, there was a marked difference in the performance of the team, and that could be associated with the person you replaced, but probably not. What did you bring to your team that maybe they didn't expect?
I just think I complimented Lycan really, really well. He was the aggressive pusher, and him and I were able to sort of aggressively push into the spawn. I noticed that, Brenner Bear and Cosmo and you, and then I Am Grill, of course, who is my fiance, they're a little bit more passive. They were holding back, and Lycan really needed that second guy to rush the spawn. I think really that's when things turned around for us.
And it did. And in that final game, the 72 to 75 finish, what was the difference? How come we couldn't pull ahead just a little bit?
I don't want to be that guy, but certain guy on the team, his name starts with a B, having a little bit too much fun out there. I think if he had, been able to hold down the fort, that negative 12 KD probably could have turned it around, and that really was the difference there. But, I got to play better myself. It's really all on me. It's not my teammates, It really is all about me. I got to improve. But, a certain man who's named after an animal got to improve as well.
Okay, final question, yes or no. If we rematch them, does it turn out different?
Yeah, it will 100% turn out different. I think if we probably could have maybe stolen one if I got to sneak in for the first couple games, I think we could have easily turned it around, and I think we could have been ready with those CDL classes that easily would have given us the advantage. They caught us off guard, and that set us back, and we weren't prepared. A lot of it was on us. Preparability, got to work on it. We're on to Cincinnati, but we will be ready next time.
On to Cincinnati. Well, thank you very much. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back with some Rocket League. We'll put the universe back in order. I'll get off of this dang desk and go back to shouting about headroom. And but by the way, the headroom's really nice in this. And we'll put Fish in the spot that he belongs and get Jolly back so that you can have some real good storytellers doing this. Anyway, thanks a lot. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Legendary parts for legendary wins. It's about time.